all control. Gravity is all that I know. She's over me. She's over me. She comes me with her hypnotic dance. She holds me here with only a glance. She's over me. She's over me. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome to the Paranormal Portal. I'm your host, Brent Thomas, and I'm happy to take you on an excursion into the world of the impossible, or the possible. Depends on how you look at it. It seems impossible, but it's possible. And many of us can bear witness to the fact that it's possible because we've seen it and experienced it. So, yeah, we are here, and we're glad you're here. Thank you, everybody, for being here. But I'm not alone over here. In this here, I got my good friend and co-host, Mr. Don Longbeard, hanging out with me.
Forever here.
Forever and always part of the fold.
Amen.
Let us pray.
Remind me of that song.
Yeah.
Sorry. But anyhow, hi, everyone. It's Saturday night.
It is. Welcome, everybody, and I hope you're having a good weekend. Thank you so much, everybody, and all of you that are piling in, bunches and bunches of you, and all of you over at YouTube, and all of you on TFR Live.
Absolutely.
Thank you for tuning in and being a part of our journey. It's always a pleasure. And I see a Zeus over there. There's a Zeus over in TFR. That's kind of cool. Yeah. I like the name Zeus. Hey, Doc, how you doing over in TFR? Alan Ullman, Wookie, Naysay's over there, Bam. And Don, you're over there.
Am I?
And Lucky's there.
Oh.
American Prisoner. And Sophia, the bot, is there.
I got to say, Sophia.
You got to give her props.
Props, yeah.
Sophia needs props. But
she needs huggles.
How many are we dealing with over in YouTube?
Well, it looks like there's 32, and I got a pretty good list of active chatters as long as they don't go away. We've got Amber, Aussie Tiger, Bigfoot Michigan Rob, Cameron's here, Contraband, Tony at Cryptidville, Dee's here, Dave Harrelson, Deb's here, Demos Mars. Hi, Diana. Haven't seen you. Well, we see you every now and then.
Good to see you, Diana.
Absolutely. DJ Big Red's here. Mr. Grover Hunter. I am Pam. Jody is here as well. Mog is here. How you doing, buddy? Rachel gets it right. Renee, Harvey, and Stacy also. Jody and Stacy are both from Private Eye Paranormal.
Very cool.
There's Miss Paisley from The Spaces Between. Tighten Up. And, of course, the one and only me.
The one and only you.
Because there can't be any more. People
nope,
wouldn't be
you
able to
are the Highlander of the beards.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Elaine just popped in, too. So there you go. I'm done with the list.
That's quite a list. Good to see everybody.
Absolutely.
Now
hit the like button.
Yeah, everybody ready, set, hit the like button on YouTube. And if you're not on YouTube, go to YouTube and hit the like button.
1, 2, 3, go.
Just to do a surf by liking.
Surf by liking.
I don't know. But thanks, everybody, for being here. Of course, this is the show, which is our forum for all things paranormal. It's our discussion. It's our ongoing journey into the Paranormal Portal.
Absolutely.
And we got a bunch of stuff to deal with tonight. By deal with, nothing negative. It sounded terrible. It's like, hey, we got some stuff to deal with. Nothing bad. Just some paranormal stuff, of course. But we, of course, have a phone line, and I hope you guys will use it during the course of the show. If you have something paranormal of your very own you'd like to share, then please feel free to call in.
Yeah.
The number is 720-923-0500. Again, 720-923-0500. So call and let us know what's on your mind or what you've seen, what you've experienced. We'd love to hear from you, and some great participation lately on the phones.
Oh, God, yeah.
It's been incredible.
It's been cool.
It has been. I just love this stuff. I love hearing from you guys, and we've of course heard some amazing stories. I mean, they're all amazing, I think,
Right.
but you know, you just never know when you pick up the phone. It's like, what's waiting for you?
Right.
What kind of incredible journey are you about to go on? And that's really the way it is. And it's really cool to be able to talk to, you know, those of you out there who are experiencing things, to, you know, just see what you go through the experience and see what you saw through your explanation. So I love that part of it for sure. But we had a good show last night. I had a lot of participation and a lot of people calling in, and
Oh, excellent.
had Bob Ross called in last night. It
Oh,
was
really?
Good. Yeah, it was a good call.
Nice to hear from Bob again, huh?
Yeah, he's a good guy, and he's said he doesn't often get into chat, but he's always checking out the shows. So
Cool.
and he had a lot of great inputs, and we talked about dreams, and we talked about all kinds of stuff.
Nice.
So
Nice.
it was a good journey. But I've got a bunch of things on the front end, but I suppose, Don, do you suppose we should hit the hot sheets and see what's going on?
That's always the best way to start. Because last time you tried to hit the hot sheets, we ended up. Oh no, it wasn't hot sheets, was it? When we got sidetracked to angels, because you were looking.
Oh
up,
no, that was
UFOs and aliens. Yeah.
Yeah,
that was funny.
It was wild though.
Great stories.
Yeah, it was a really cool experience because we accidentally landed on a broken link and we're taken to another site altogether. But it was a bunch of angel encounters, and we still have a bunch more of those. We can certainly go through more of them tonight. I've gotten a lot of feedback from people that were listening, and they're like, "Hey, thanks for sharing those. Those were cool."
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing that we forget oftentimes in the paranormal. It's always everybody going for the spooky and the sensational.
Right.
But some of those angel stories are just as much as phenomenal or
Right.
but they also make you feel good.
Yeah,
You know,
they-
it's like,
they-
oh, I don't feel gross now.
Yeah, when somebody calls in and they say, yeah, I had an experience, and I think it was, I had some kind of a angel or, some kind of intervention, whether divine intervention
Yeah.
of some type.
Yep.
It really gives you the feel good feeling, because, both of these people apparently, the two that had the crashes, should have been dead.
Right.
But they were,
Yep.
so it's like, wow, that is incredible. Yeah.
I talked to a person who had one of those experiences as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because so many times when they come up, it seems that they are attached to tragic accidents like that.
Right.
And in this case, the person that I was talking to, and I heard right from the person,
Mm-hmm.
she and I think it was her brother were driving around a mountain pass near here,
Mm-hmm.
and they ended up rolling their car and almost going over
wow.
the cliff.
Right.
But they didn't. They stopped, but they were kind of stuck and were all disjointed. But this woman showed up out of nowhere
Wow.
and helped pull them both from the car and got them away from it and clear from it. And then the emergency services came up, and it's very similar to other stories. We shared one last night that was very, very similar.
Wow.
But she says that after the emergency services people showed up, there was nobody there, and they asked about it, and the emergency services hadn't seen some woman walking down the highway either.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
she just showed up, helped them, and but the funny thing is when she was telling me, the interesting thing is that they both perceived her a little bit different.
Wow.
One of them perceived the woman as a blonde, and the other one was definitely seeing her as a brunette. So it was very unique in that manner. But
Right.
those
Wow,
are some
that's
things
cool.
we can get into as well. There's some stories of kids stuff that I want to get into
Ooh.
as well. Those are always pretty spooky. But
Right.
some I think that kids see a lot more than we see,
Yeah, I believe it.
and we've heard that over and over in the paranormal. how kids pick up on hauntings long before the adults do. A lot of times in the case of making friends first.
Yeah, I think the order of operation there is pets, children, adults.
Yeah. That's it.
That's the order of operations.
It's like a
for
mathematical
paranormal.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it could be. Yep. So we never covered this one, did we? Last time we were on here. Do you see it?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
We did. Okay.
We did talk about that one. Yeah.
No.
Nah.
Which one? This one?
Yeah, we probably covered that at some point too.
Okay. Okay.
Oh.
This one's, I think, yeah, this one sounds cool. Let's go into this one first. We're just kind of figuring out where we are on the hot sheets. The hot sheets, ladies and gentlemen, are the singular40n.com.
Not single and 40.
Yeah,
Singular.
it's not a dating site.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not a dating site. It's a singular 40n, and 40n is kind of another word for supernatural and paranormal. It's all the 40n subjects. But it's pretty interesting. They do a great job. It's run by the Wayland husband and wife team, and they really do a fantastic job. Tobias Wayland and his wife, and the information that they cover. I mean, they don't go overboard. They don't make these exhaustively huge, tedious kind of articles. They just get to the dirt and get out.
Yeah, they report what's there.
Yep, exactly. So we're going to get into some of these, ladies and gentlemen. The first one we're going to get into, I'm going to pull this over on the other screen because there is some visuals. Why does it do that? I hate when it does that. It like stops. Why does it do that, Don? I don't know why it does that, Don. I'm vexed. I'll pull it from the other side.
There you go. Yeah.
I just got to treat it like a puzzle.
I've found that sometimes my cursor doesn't go across the screen like it's supposed to. It like bounces off, and you got to go down. Or
it's like there's a force field on.
Yeah, exactly.
Force field on one side.
Use the force, Brent.
Yeah, let's go to this one. So we're still on camera, but this is the article. It says strange incidents recorded on haunted UK antique shops CCTV once again being shared across the internet, and these have been around for a long time. But apparently they've been resurfacing lately. And these are pretty good examples of what are probably some pretty profound paranormal events.
Right.
I've seen the videos, and you can see them right here.
That one right there, we've covered on the evidence reviews.
Yeah, that was one of them, wasn't it? Our first forays. And you can see it's from 2014, so it's an older...
Wow, Elaine.
What?
Thank you.
What'd Elaine do?
Elaine just gave us another $100 for the other half of the table.
Oh my God.
You are awesome.
Wow, Elaine. Love you bunches. Thank you so much.
Is there anybody who's going to go 150? 150, 150, 150.
150.
Elaine, thank you from our hearts to you. Thank you much.
My God, that's brilliant. Thank you, Elaine. That's amazing. That really helps out a bunch. Okay, so let's get into this article. It says, a woman reacts to a mannequin toppling over in one of Barnsley Antiques Center videos. Barnsley Antiques Center /YouTube. So I think if you go to Barnsley Antiques Center / or YouTube, whatever.
YouTube.com/
Thank you.
Barnsley Antiques.
I'm just like my tongue just folded up in origami or something in my mouth.
150.
It's because of my attempt at auctioneering. Videos of poltergeist activity recorded over the past 5 years on the CCTV of the reputedly haunted Barnsley Antique Center in England are once again being shared across the internet, thanks in large part to a recent article posted to the UK version of AOL's news site. There's a UK version. AOL, really?
They're still here. It's like net zero.
Yeah, exactly. And then you can go to my GeoCities.
I didn't know Chris owned real estate.
Yeah. The article features a video first uploaded on YouTube September 16th, 2014, showing a glass shatter out of a cabinet seemingly of its own accord. And that's the one that we covered, was the one where that glass shatters, and it really does shatter. It like explodes all of a sudden.
And there's a couple angles in the evidence reviews.
Yes.
So if you want to see it, because we don't think we can play it, if you want to see it though, go to the evidence reviews.
Go back to our old videos when we didn't know better. We just showed everything. It says over two dozen such videos have been posted on the shop's YouTube page, often recorded via mobile phone off of CCTV footage. With most of the videos dating back to between 4 and 5 years ago, the most recent video was uploaded August 1st, 2017. The videos include a variety of objects that appear to move on their own, including the one pictured at the top of this article, in which a woman reacts to a mannequin toppling over nearby.
Oh, that's one I haven't seen.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that either. I definitely am going to want to.
Yes.
They got like a safety ring here for...
Yeah, stay back.
All aboard.
Personal space.
Yeah, exactly. According to the Danielle Parker, who owns the Barnsley Antiques Center, peculiar things have just kept happening since he opened the shop in 2014. The number of weird incidents that have happened here over the years is absolutely bizarre, Parker said. I'm naturally skeptic about paranormal activity and all that, but seeing the things I've seen has forced me to think twice. I'll just be stood at the till, and things will start dropping off the shelves, which would be fine if it happened a few times, but it's all the time. People who know about this kind of thing think there are ghosts, spirits, and all sorts in the shop, and he added, it's all very strange. The activity is largely blamed on the shop's location. The building it's in dates back to the 19th century, which by London standards isn't very old.
Well, that's true, but
and it's said to have formerly housed a funeral parlor. Well, that'll do it.
That's it. There you go.
Similarly, a graveyard once stood over Doncaster Road in Barnsley, South Yorkshire, where the building is located.
Wow, jeez.
Wow, they just stacked up a bunch of problems.
They're literally stacking them up.
It's like bad karma Jenga going on over there.
Let's remove this leg piece.
Put the casket out and put it on top of the pile. Wow, that's a bunch of bad moves.
Wow.
Parker said that a medium who had heard about the shop on social media and volunteered to spend the night there told him that the spirits of 2 small children resided within the store. Their childish playfulness is claimed by some to explain the items constantly being knocked off of the walls and shelves. Someone else told him they sensed the spirit of an indigent old man at the store. I'm inclined to say that none of this is true, but to be honest, I have no other explanation for what has been happening, Parker said of the supposed spirits. Before opening up, I was a complete non-believer, but now I'm half and half. Maybe all the talk about ghosts and ghouls is right. Who knows? Other incidents on the shop's paranormal video evidence have appeared in The Telegraph in 2014 and Express in 2016. Both were written following Barnsley Antiques Center's videos having gone viral. Well, of course they wrote about them when they went viral. That's when it's good. That's when it's time to jump on the bandwagon.
No doubt. No doubt.
But very interesting. I do think that antique stores probably have a lot of things going on in a lot of cases. Not usually so much as to have a whole lot of really significant activity, but I don't know. I always get weird vibes in antique stores, and I really love them.
I love antiques.
Yeah, I love going through them, and I don't know. It's just... It's all these pieces of people's lives that have been collected into these buildings, and they are just really profoundly energetic. Mm-hmm. But not to say that they're all haunted or having weird things like that going on. But if you're looking for the paranormal, sometimes thrift shops and antique stores are probably the easiest bet.
But I bet you thrift stores are a little more dirty. I mean, paranormally or spiritually, because,
That's where I get my underwear.
Oh, my goodness. No, that's not a good idea.
Slightly used.
It's still got some threads right there. You can cover.
I still got a net to deal with.
Oh, jeez.
Sorry, I don't know what the hell I'm saying. I'm a little punchy tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, wow.
I'm a little tired, but
so it was built on a graveyard. It was a morgue or mortuary.
Yeah, it was a mortuary.
And then it's an antique store, and so that's like a triple threat right there. You got the full turkey.
It's like the perfect storm. It's like mix and serve. It's like, wow.
Let's just spill this cup out there and roll the bones.
Yeah, let's roll out some pie crusts and bake it and go. I don't know what the hell people are thinking sometimes. I guess, probably the first thing would be to put cemeteries somewhere where people don't want to build someday. You know, not like in the most beautiful view you can
Yeah,
find.
but where are they
you
going
know?
to put them in swamps, quicksand?
I
But,
don't
you know,
know.
I mean,
I
then
mean-
you get like, coffin birth.
Coffin birth.
Remember we were talking to Lady Death about that?
Yeah, that's right.
just creepy.
That is. There's all kinds of wrong with all of that, but oh, this one sounds good, Don.
What's that?
It says commercial airline pilot films UFO over Medellin, Colombia.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with this?
No, I'm not.
Nor
I've
am I.
seen something about airline pilots recently posting videos of UFOs, and I
That's
think
cool.
I didn't read it, but I think that's the one that I've seen. Or
Okay.
The story I saw that I didn't read.
Well, let's read it now and
Yes,
find out what the
let's
hell's
do.
going on, because
Let's
this
do.
sounds really interesting. Again, ladies and gentlemen, singular40.com. There's no wonder I love this site. It's just so comprehensive and awesome. They just do a phenomenal job. Still image from the video shared to TikTok. Well, that's where I share my greatest shots. By pilot Cesar Murillo Perez. And then it's slash
His
TikTok. Okay.
His TikTok page.
So
yeah.
just his name at TikTok. Commercial pilot Cesar Murillo
Just say
Perez.
Captain Perez.
I'll just say Captain Caesar, who flies for the Colombian airline Viva Air, recorded a video of what appears to be a metallic, roughly spherical object while in the air over Medellin, the capital of Colombia's Antigua?
That's Medellin.
How the hell do you say that?
Antigua.
Antigua province on January 1st, according to El Tiempo. The video shows the UFO careen past Perez's aircraft as he records it on his cell phone. While the encounter reportedly took place on January 1st, Perez waited several weeks to upload it to a video sharing site TikTok. that's where the cutting edge stuff is, ladies and gentlemen. TikTok, what the hell? Well, there you have it. I guess you can find everything over on TikTok, not just
TikTok's pretty interesting.
not just dancing ladies or puppy videos.
Poor Don.
Poor Don. Perez was flying at an altitude of 30,000 feet at the time of his sighting. Temperatures can reach close to negative 76 degrees Fahrenheit at that altitude, which would rule out most balloons. I think if it was a balloon, I would think it was a balloon, but the conditions do not lend itself to it. I doubt it, above all because of the altitude of the physical characteristics. And the physical characteristics, says Perez. The pilot said that there are weather balloons capable of achieving this altitude, but they are equipped with detection and monitoring systems that would allow them to be identified by nearby aircraft. However, as noted at the beginning of the video, the UFO was not detected by the Airbus A320. It's unclear in the video how fast the object was really going, or if its relative speed is due to the velocity of the aircraft. Well, if it passed a jet, I'm thinking it was moving pretty good,
Yeah,
right?
It's moving at least 500 miles an hour.
Yeah. According to Colombia's Special Administrative Unit of Civil Aeronautics, pilots are required to report these events since the agency must have full knowledge of the possible dangers on all air routes. It's not uncommon for pilots to report drones flying at heights that aren't allowed or aircraft outside of their allowed range. No report has yet been submitted on this specific case, said the agency. Some have compared the object to the sphere encasing a cube. A United States Navy pilot said he almost hit over the Atlantic Ocean off of Virginia Beach sometime between the summer of 2014 and March 2015. Man, 2014 was really hopping.
Well, that's
That's when the Tic Tac craft were all
I
filmed
think that's
off the Nimitz, right?
I think that's referring to that particular.
But that was over on the West Coast, wasn't it? Or was it the East Coast? Virginia Beach is on the East Coast, isn't it? Or is Virginia Beach in California? I don't know. Oh, it's Atlantic. It says the Atlantic Ocean, though.
Well, so
that's,
it's on East Coast, yeah.
yeah, I thought the TikTok craft was over in the Pacific.
It was, but
Yeah.
they're referring to the one in. Anyhow, never mind. Keep going.
While others have accused Perez of hoaxing the video. The pilot maintains that he still has the original, unmodified video on his phone, and that it is the same video as that which he has shared online. I've never seen that they have said that it is. I have seen that they have said that it is very well done, fabrication, but I'm a pilot. I don't know about fabrications or anything like that, he said. I tend to believe him. I mean, my God. it'd be like professional suicide. And there's apparently a still image of what he saw.
Right.
I don't know.
And just so you know,
Yeah,
Lord Vader has spoken. He says it is East Coast.
Lord Vader's in
Lord
here.
Vader.
The dark side. If you only knew the power of the dark side.
Stop it, Mom. You're turning me to the dark side.
Good to see you, Vader. Thanks for coming in, brother. I've missed you, but let's continue. So that's that one. I think that Pilot is probably going to give you pretty factual reports. I don't think that they would commit professional suicide over a hoax.
Right.
I mean, he would lose his livelihood for my God, you know. That's just doesn't stand to reason at all. But there again, those people that can't accept this kind of stuff will throw anything at it that saves their paradigm.
True.
Absolutely. So that was that one. I like that article. That was interesting, I thought. Excuse me. Excuse me while I cough this up. Howdy, says Lord Vader. Howdy to you. Let's see what's going on in other news from the hot sheets tonight. Oh, this one sounds interesting. Oh, yeah. I heard of this one.
I haven't heard of that one.
Well, it's kind of famous. It's kind of famous, Don. You got to surf more internets.
I don't have time to surf internet.
Well, hey, you make time, Don. There's no time for excuses. All right. This one is a Bolide Meteor to blame for aerial light caught on doorbell camera over England, says astronomer. Excuse me, I'm froggy as hell right now. Hold on.
Yes, he sounds like one of our gang.
Ribbit. All right, there we go. Still an image showing the light as it sinks below the row of houses in the background. And that's what you're seeing here, the lights coming down. Derby, England resident Gary Rogers captured a dazzling ball of light in the sky on his doorbell camera at 11:30 p.m. last Monday, which astronomy experts are explaining as a bolide meteorite. Or actually meteor. They didn't say meteorite, but I did. I was in bed and was about to go to sleep when my phone pinged. I couldn't believe it, Rogers said of the brilliant fireball. I thought it was a firework at first, but listened to the sound and you couldn't hear any noise. I could not believe my eyes when I saw it, he continued. I thought to myself, what is that? At first, I thought it could have been a plane crashing, but the footage clearly shows a large ball of fire, and it was amazing to see, and I've seen...
Really?
I hear the bell. Don, do you hear the bell?
I hear the bell.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back after these messages. Don't go away for more of the Paranormal Portal. We'll be right back. Did you miss us? We're back. We're back. You can't get away from us that easy. Ladies and gentlemen, the second half hour of the Paranormal Portal is now underway. We made it through the first one, and
God,
we
I didn't know if I could make it.
You okay? You
Yeah,
good?
I'm okay. Yeah.
All right.
I was sweating it, though.
You were.
Yeah, because, you know, what Kate said about, well, if we hit 50 likes before the techno break, will Dawn dance? I said maybe 55. I was offering at 55, but we made it all the way through the break, and we're still only at 49.
Wow. It was close.
But we got a thumbs down during that time. So does that count? No, because he said thumbs up, not like. He said likes.
Oh, okay. You got to like the show. I mean, you know, thumbs down kind of suck.
Yeah,
I mean, it's still interaction. Don't get me wrong. And if somebody's voting their conscience, then so be it. But
oh, hey, we just hit 50. Too late.
It's funny though, because the thing
However,
is
Brent will do the robot dance in tight pants.
I'll do it. I already have tight pants on, Don. It's all below the desk. It's all below the camera line. I'm sitting here in my Speedo, so
Hey,
as far as you guys know.
Hey, don't make me look any weirder than I already am.
Don't look at all.
I'm trying not to.
No. What the hell was I going to say?
I don't know.
I lost everything at that moment, Don. Everything just left my head like it got vacuumed out.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, yeah. There was something I wanted to say, though, and now it's bugging me. It's like, I don't remember. It'll come to me, ladies and gentlemen, but we are underway here on the show.
Stop on that stuff.
I know what I was going to say.
Oh.
It was the thumbs down kind of things.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny because even...
now we got two.
Oh, two of them.
Yes.
It's funny because the hilarity of that is that the people like that tend to be sometimes your most avid listeners.
Yeah.
Because I can't wait to tune in and see what they piss me off about next. Okay, come on back and just let us piss you off.
Somebody took it back.
Oh, they're flirting with the.
Yeah.
All right. Gotcha, little.
What can I do for your thumbs
little
up?
hate tease? No, it's fine. I mean, if people are being sincere, like, I don't like this show much, click thumbs down. It's okay. I mean, I don't think this show's going to appeal to everybody. No show does.
Oh,
but
the other one went away.
it did?
Yeah.
Aw.
And mysteriously, we just went up 2 thumbs up.
Somebody's like, damn it, I clicked it wrong.
Yeah, exactly. We're like, did I do that? Oh, goodness.
Was that me? No, it's okay. I mean, honestly, if people
if
don't
it's
like
honest,
it, then
yeah,
vote your conscience. That's
absolutely.
fine. I don't
'Cause
pretend.
it's all analytics.
Yeah, I don't pretend everybody's going to like this, and that's okay. But as long as most of you do, then I think we're doing something right. So
Amber says you've made it when you get dislikes.
you know it when you've got hate.
Oh, we got 2 back.
Oh.
Just that quick.
Somebody's got like 2 accounts. Yeah. How do you like that?
Yeah, they're yeah.
That's funny.
Hold on to that schizophrenia. It's okay.
Yeah, you and your personalities have a good time over there. We've got a story underway, though.
Yes, we
and
do.
this story is about the meteor that was viewed through the doorbell camera. I gotta get one of these things. These things are pretty cool. These doorbell
Why? Because
cameras.
apparently it'll go off if there's a big giant flash.
But you'll see the black-eyed kids before they
Oh,
knock.
good point. Good point. Let me get my shotgun. If I shoot through the door, does that count as opening?
According to Uncle Joe, that's fine.
That's fine. Yep.
Uncle Joe Biden. Yep. Just take your shotgun and put it around through the door.
Right through the door.
Yeah, some of the worst vice presidential advice ever in the history of advice. You don't just fire rounds blindly through your door. So let's get back to the story. The guy saw it. He says, the whole horizon was lit up and there was no sound, Rogers explained. I saw the trail first. Then it exploded into the sky and I knew it was a meteor. There was a huge semicircle flash and it was really nice to see. I showed it to my son, Ewan, E-U-A-N. How the hell do you say that? Ewan? I assume Ewan or Ewan.
I'll go with it.
And he was really excited. I was expecting it to be a fox or a hedgehog like usual. My friends have been saying it's like something out of War of the Worlds, he added. Rob Dawes, chairman of the Sherwood Observatory just over 20 miles away in Nottinghamshire, said that what Rogers saw was likely a Bolide Meteor. Mr. Rogers was very lucky to get such a Mr. Rogers.
Sorry.
How you doing, neighbor? Let's say hello to our friend, Mr. Meteor. Mr. Rogers is very lucky to have such a bright one, Dawes said, but you'd be surprised how many of these do come into the atmosphere at any time of the year. Bolide meteors are extremely bright bits of exploding space debris that burn up in Earth's atmosphere and are often held responsible for sightings of fireballs. These meteors have been blamed for other similarly astonishing displays, including a spectacular fireball captured on camera by several residents of the Russian city of whatever the hell that is in Siberia last April. I did see that video, though. It was really spectacular. And apparently, if this is the one I'm thinking of, when it blew, it actually blew out windows for miles around.
Oh, wow.
I think if it's the same one.
Huh.
Seen in the early morning hours of November 2018 over that other town in Russia. Bolide meteors were often offered as explanations for mysterious booms in California, Michigan, Washington in 2018. Well, there you go.
Wow.
So bolide meteors, apparently, ladies and gentlemen, are the fireworks from God. That's what it seems. They're spectacular, though. I have seen a meteor enter the atmosphere and break up, and it's really spectacular. It's pretty profound. It was actually back in Minnesota when I lived there, and I was going into a Walmart of all places, and it's a sign from the heavens. the light came down and ruptured and exploded and fell into pieces, and somewhere miles and miles and miles away, I'm sure. But very cool experience. What do we got next? Let's see. That was the meteor. The last one is cattle mutilation in Oregon. It's confounding investigators, apparently, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I don't know what the hell did it. See, look what it did this time. Really? Ugh. This really just frosts my...
Chaps your Frosties?
It really frosts my unit. I don't know what to say. But these, of course, are weird. I don't understand cattle mutilations. I don't understand how these advanced races can learn so much by, like, dissecting a cow. It's these guys could be millions of years ahead of us, and for some reason, they still need to core an anus. And I'm not sure
God,
why.
I knew you were going there. I was just waiting for you to go, coronations.
Why do they need to do that? It's like, really? What are you guys finding back there that you're so intrigued by?
I was waiting for that. I knew it was coming.
Check this out, Beelzebub. It's got 4 stomachs, but only 1 mouth. Why?
How does that work?
I don't know. It's just so strange. Why are they cutting up cows, ladies and gentlemen?
They put magnets in their stomachs.
What?
They put magnets in cow stomachs.
Who puts magnets in cow
Farmers,
stomachs?
so that if they do, if they do, or dairymen, whatever you want to call them, but
okay.
But they put a magnet in there, so if they eat anything metallic, it'll stick to or anything at least magnetic.
Oh, so if they get like a nail or something, it's not going to puncture intestines.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, that's pretty creative, actually. I imagine that's I did when I was living out in Michigan, going to school out there, and when I was 18. It was much younger than that. It was when we were out there visiting relatives, and they had sheep, and one of them died, and my cousin's dad was an osteopathic doctor, and he did an autopsy on it to figure out what happened, and he found that this sheep had gotten into broken glass, and it had eaten it. Now the magnet wouldn't have helped much in this point, but it did puncture the intestine and caused it to, had blood sepsis and died, just like boom, done. So they do get into stuff, that's for sure. Yep. But I don't know what the hell that has to do with anything, but I just thought of it. So you get the bounty of my recollections throughout the course of the show. So this says, and again, this is Oregon, ladies and gentlemen, a mutilated cow found dead late last summer has left authorities perplexed as to how it may have died. According to the Blue Mountain Eagle, the cow, a breeding animal worth around $850, was found dead with her genitals, udder, tongue, and heart removed at Barnsley Land and Cattle, a ranch near Hampton, Oregon, owned by Clancy and Stephanie Roth. Or Stephen, I don't know, Stephen. Kenyon Morehouse, the Roth's ranch hand, reportedly found the cow dead when he visited the pasture to fill the water tanks, something he did each morning. Bar DR Land and Cattle is approximately 100 miles southwest of Sylvie's Valley Ranch, where last summer 5 young purebred bulls were found dead.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot. The bulls were found drained of blood with certain body parts precisely removed. Mm-hmm. The missing body parts, which include the anus, scrotum, testicles, and tongues, Don.
Oh,
that's the
coring.
That's the coring right there. Are often the first to be taken by scavengers, but the wounds, when examined by authorities, were said to be cleanly cut. Lake County Sheriff's Office Deputy Tom Rourke, who launched the investigation into this latest cattle mutilation on September 18th, 2019, described the animals' injuries as being similarly clean, meaning they likely didn't come as a result of scavengers. When a pack of coyotes or birds gets into a carcass, not much is left, just bones and hide, unevenly chewed, says Rourke, and this was clean cut, like it was done with a blade. If somebody was hungry, they would have whittled up a chunk of back meat and taken it home, but this wasn't done for food. It was something sinister. The cow has also been exsanguinated, just like the bulls a few weeks before. The blood was gone, Clancy Roth said. It looked like someone snipped her artery and just drained her. So far, the cause of death is unknown. Well, I'm going with loss of blood, maybe,
and missing parts, which causes loss of blood.
Apparently we need those.
God, no way.
Due to, at least in part, to the fact that the 24-hour window in which to perform a necropsy had lapsed due to Deputy Rourke's arrival the morning after the cow was found. There was no apparent cause of death, such as a bullet wound or strangulation marks, nor were there any clues like rope burns on nearby trees, tire tracks, or shoe prints. And despite having been seemingly drained of his blood, more was found spilled around the carcass. None was found. Sorry, none was found spilled around the carcass. So there was no blood evident anywhere, but there was none in the cow. That's creepy. One clue was found at the crime scene. Agitated hoof marks beside the cow's foot indicate that she may have struggled in her last moments. The crime scene is remote, about 45-minute drive to the nearest paved road, and approximately 100 feet off the dirt road, which means that any person committing the crime must have planned it.
Wow.
But who would do such a thing, and to what end?
To which end?
To both ends, apparently.
Sorry. I couldn't help it.
Deputy Rourke suspects that that a cult is using the animal parts for bizarre medicinal practices.
Medicinal? Well, okay.
And the Roths have similar concerns. We think it's a satanic thing, Clancy Roth said.
It's not medicinal.
They're probably taking the reproductive organs and using or selling them for satanic rituals. She added that perhaps the act was tied to a certain times or numbers, noting that the number on the cow's ear was tagged 1313.
Mockingbird Lane.
Yeah, yes, it's the Munsters. And that was doubly unlucky. Roth thinks it's possible that the killers may have poisoned her cow, although after the killing, she said that her husband, his friend, found a tiny scrap of fiber resembling a feather tip caught in nearby sagebrush. What is a feather tip?
She believes the fiber could have been fletched from a poisonous dart.
Oh, okay. She believes the fiber could have been from a poisonous dart. Oh, okay. Unfortunately, analysis of the crime scene did not yield any suspects, and now, 4 months later, there are still no leads. I've seen too many crime scenes, Rourke said, but this one's got no evidence, nothing. It's really bizarre. The Bureau of Land Management is also reportedly investigating the incident. This cow's death and the deaths of the bulls before it are part of a much larger phenomenon involving thousands of livestock deaths and mutilations that have been reported since the 1970s. The mysterious deaths and mutilations were so prolific, they even drew the attention of the FBI, and the reports are eerily similar, sharing the grotesque details of missing body parts and a conspicuous lack of blood. Explanations for the phenomena range from mundane illnesses to satanic cults to extraterrestrials, but so far, they remain a mystery. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There's more cows getting cored and drained and whatever have you. I don't know. Exsanguinated, yeah. That's...
Hey, a shout out to Kathy Kitchens. She's donated $5.
Oh, thank you, Kathy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
And hello to Daniela.
Oh, it's good to see you, Daniela. And what's Daniela's page? Hidden Existence.
Hidden Existence, yeah.
Yeah, check out Hidden Existence on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. That's our good friend Daniela. That's her site, and she does a lot of the paranormal and the Bigfoot stuff over there, and it's her brand new channel. She, of course, is also a part of the Bigfoot Odyssey crew.
Yes, absolutely.
And so definitely give her all your love and head over and subscribe to her channel, because that's also important.
Let me get, oh, goodness. Let me see if I can get her.
Get her? A link?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Julia says she saw a UFO go by one time that had a bumper sticker that said, "Cow butts drive me nuts." Honorable mention.
Oh, nice. There you go.
That was good. That was good. That's disgusting, but it's good.
Maybe there is something with the cow butt thing, but I don't know. It just seems really, really nasty.
Apparently, they drive her nuts.
Just very nasty.
Hidden Existence. There it is. Let me grab it.
Hidden Existence. Yep, that's her site, and of course, check out our good friend Duke's site, World Bigfoot Radio.
She has 646 subscribers, and she still hasn't named her URL.
Oh yeah, I talked to her about that.
Yeah, gosh,
Daniela, you got to come up with get your URL locked down, so you can have it youtube.com/hidden existence.
Yes.
Makes it so much easier. Just my 2 cents, of course. But
so that link I just dropped in there is for Daniela's show on YouTube. Let me go ahead and drop it in here
Duke said, "That's pretty funny, Duke. I like that."
Uh-oh,
McAlien's Angus Anus Burger.
Oh God.
Oh no. That's funny. She must have done it. She said she did. I don't know why it doesn't show.
What's that?
Well, it probably won't show, but
because she's not a mod.
No. On her channel, she already did her URL thing. If you try youtube.com/hidden existence?
I didn't. Okay. But I will right now. Yeah.
Yeah, try it, because she said she did it. It doesn't show on ours either, Daniela. But it does work to get people there usually. Did it work?
I type slow.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. That's right, Don. I forgot. So, my apologies. Now we're going to get into some children's encounters with the unknown, and this is an article from liveabout.com.
I can't spell existence.
EXIS.
I got too many S's.
Exist. TENCE.
ENCE. Okay.
Yep.
Existence. Ince. Let me try that.
Did it work?
I don't know. Hold on. God.
Did it work now?
Let me type.
Did it work now?
Don doesn't type fast. Oh, it does. Yeah. So, okay, there it is. Yeah. So it is youtube.com hidden existence. Let me grab that.
She's official.
Let me grab that.
Cameron subbed. Good job. Thanks, Cameron. And
it's about time.
Nice. You gonna shame Cam like that?
Yeah,
don't shame Cam. Cam's a good guy. He's been here with us for a long time.
He's been here for a while. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not easy to stick around us for too long, Cam.
I know, yeah. It's like,
wow. A little of us goes a long way sometimes.
What the hell's wrong with you?
All right, so it's damn painful, Black Tree. Oh, Barry, I don't know if I want to know.
All right, here we go.
I don't know.
I got it. There we go.
All right, so let's get into these other tales. Excellent. How much time we got left? 7 minutes, though. Man, this time is flying down. How about that?
Welcome to the portal.
We're almost at the hour mark, ladies and gentlemen. 7 minutes to go, but we'll go into these off the start here. So these are kids experiencing paranormal stuff, and as we said before, kids are very incredibly sensitive. I think generally, and maybe that's not every kid, but it seems that more kids are able to pick up on the energy and the weirdness more so than any adults, just on their surface. Now, there are some adults that are really tuned in naturally as well, or they've maintained that since a young age and never lost it. But it seems that some kids actually lose it at some point. Maybe it's puberty. Maybe it's something else.
Maybe it's just jaded.
Maybe it's just life. When kids are
teens.
Yeah, it could be angsty teens, could be hormonal, but it could be just that life gets more complicated, and you can't be quite as esoterically minded as most kids naturally are.
Right.
But whatever the case, kids do pick up on stuff. So let's get to these stories. God, that's a huge one right off the bat.
Nice. Well, you might want to hold on because you said we're just a few minutes out.
Yeah, we've got like 5 minutes, so I got enough time for
All
this.
right, squeeze it.
I got enough time. This one's called The Mystery Man. Did you say squeeze it? I don't know if that was advice or you're flirting. What was that? Years ago, while in my teens, my mom took me with her to pick up one of her elderly friends to give her a ride to our church. We weren't going that night, but my mom was always helpful to the senior citizens at our church. And when we got to my mom's friend's house, Mom asked me to go to the door and tell her that we were outside waiting on her. Well, I rang the doorbell, and an elderly lady opened the door and said hello and left. She left me standing at the doorway for a few minutes while she finished getting ready. The couch in the elderly lady's living room was partially shielded by the door, but I could see a man sitting on her couch in front of her TV, which was turned on. He never moved or spoke to me as I stood there. I was very shy and didn't attempt to speak to him either, and I distinctly remember he had on a white shirt, black pinstripe pants, black nylon socks, and black shiny shoes. His hands rested on his knees, and I remember that his hand was wrinkled and appeared to be that of an elderly, very dark African-American man, but I was positioned in a way that I couldn't see his face. After a few minutes, the elderly lady grabbed her coat and walked out the door, locking it behind her, and she left the man sitting on the couch watching television. But she hadn't said anything to him when she left, and I thought that it was rather strange, but said nothing about it to her. After we dropped the elderly lady off at church, I said, Mom, Mrs. McLean left a man in her house, but she didn't say bye to him when we left. And I also told her that he was sitting on her couch in front of the TV, and she asked me what he looked like because Mrs. McLean's landlord came to visit her from time to time, and I described what I saw to my mom, but told her that I didn't see his face, and my mom said that description that I gave did not match that of her landlord because he was a very pale-skinned man.
Wow.
Mom was very concerned, so she called Miss McLean at the church, and in order not to alarm her, she asked, did you have some company? My daughter said that you left your TV on, and Mrs. McLean told my mom that she didn't have any company that day and that she leaves her TV on whenever she goes out because she wants people to think that someone is home so that no one will break in.
Okay.
Hearing this really frightened my mom, but I guess the elderly lady could hear the fright in my mom's voice, so she started screaming out, asking my mom, what did your daughter see? Please tell me, what did your daughter see?
Uh-oh.
You're scaring me. I can't go back there. What did she see? And I remember my mom having to talk to her for quite a while to calm her down, and my mom finally convinced her that we were just wondering why she had left the television on. When my mom finally got off the phone, we were both very shaken, and I was crying and extremely afraid that I would see this man again because at this point we knew that it had to be a ghost. I kept repeating, I'm so glad that I didn't try to see his face. My mom comforted me by saying that it was probably Mrs. McLean's husband who had passed away watching out for her because she was all alone. I never saw the man again, and we never told Mrs. McLean what I had really seen that evening at her house. Wowzers.
Wow.
So there's a specter on her couch.
Spectre.
But it was like full formed, you know. It wasn't like it looked like a person. So that's quite a manifestation.
Right.
But is that just the eyes of the child?
True. Yeah.
I don't know. Makes you wonder, doesn't
But
it?
it makes you wonder what the woman was scared about. You know, was there?
Right.
Did she shoot somebody? A burglar shoot somebody and kill him in the house, and the burglar's still hanging around?
There's a reason she had to go to church all the time.
You know, was it a horrible, you know,
I don't know.
ex-husband that she may have shot herself? I
Well,
mean,
the fact that she got so frantic, you're right. That does seem kind of bizarre.
yeah.
What did she see? What did she see? Or had she been experiencing weird things
Right. Oh,
and
yeah.
didn't really know what was going on? But
Yeah. Oh, I need to make a correction on an error I made. It's not Kathy's Kitchen. It's Karen's Kitchen.
Karen's Kitchen.
Karen Kitchen that gave us the donation. Thank you,
Karen.
Poisoned her old man. Yeah, I think, you know, I'm thinking that's more what it is he's still hanging around trying to haunt her. And apparently she knows. Huh?
Oh, it is here. It didn't show up on my chat, though, at all. I do see
It
it,
was just real short.
though. Oh, that's sweet, though. She says thank you.
Yep.
That's nice.
Thank you.
So lovely. Thank you for all the love. We are just about at the break, but this is a good time to tell you that after the show, of course, stick around for Paisley
There
Wild
you go.
coming up after us in the spaces between. And then after Paisley on TFRlive.com, head over to TFRlive.com/chat, get a username and password, and hang out with the Duke during World Bigfoot Radio, which will be airing after Paisley's show.
Radio.
And as far as future announcement, ladies and gentlemen, next Friday on the portal, we'll be having Miss Deborah Varner here, and she'll be doing psychic readings. So mind your calendars, mark that day, and if you're going to call in and hold the line. It's going to be a great show, and that's Valentine's Day, right?
Oh, it is.
Valentine's Day, it's going to be a lesson in love. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back after these messages. Don't go away.
Play their games. Everybody loves to place their bets. They don't understand the price I paid. They don't care to comprehend. Trace their lines upon my body, dripping scars across my heart. Raging anger pours inside me as their lies keep falling apart. With my silence, I am not a stupid boy. No more breaking me with kindness, just you dance upon my joy. Leading me with empty promise, you're just another fucking mess. Taking off the slice of my sanity, just make sure that you're well fed. I'm not wrong yet. I'm not broken yet. I'm not broken yet. I'm not broken
I can't see you, Mommy. Where are you? I've never sensed anything like it. like those she's with. They're attracted to the one thing about her that is different from themselves. Her life force is very strong. It gives off its own illumination. It is a light that implies life and memory of love and home and earthly pleasures. Something they desperately desire, but can't have anymore. Right now, she's the closest thing to that.
Poltergeists are usually associated with an individual. Hauntings seem to be connected with an area. A house, usually.
Poltergeist disturbances are fairly short duration, perhaps a couple of months. Hauntings can go on for years.
And so can that intro, ladies and gentlemen. But we are here and continuing our journey through the paranormal portal. Thank you so much for being here with us. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
You know, last night, same thing happened.
What's that?
That waterfall sound after the second break, or after the second break.
Huh.
Got this waterfall sound. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to disconnect the phone line and try reconnecting it, because I noticed last night it seemed to be something to do with the phone. I'm not sure, though. I can't see everything here, though. Why is that all douchey? I should be able to see all of them, shouldn't I?
You only have two.
Is this the phone line one? Yeah, I should have three. Let me reconnect the phone, maybe. That was when Bob Ross called last night. We were dealing with I better not use the number pad. It'll change OBS because I mapped some keys that I never use. 720.
Don't say it out loud.
Oh, they can call it if they want. If they don't have the pin, it won't do them any good. All right, let's try.
I do believe so.
I don't know if it's connected or not, but that's why can't I see that thing though? That's what's bugging me the most. Is that I should be able to see that
phone thing there.
Grid view, speaker view. What if I do speaker view? What the hell is that? No, that didn't really work.
Nah.
I don't know what the hell it is. Enter full screen, maybe? Nope, still. Well, I guess we got the waterfall, ladies and gentlemen.
That's what that meant.
What?
Somebody. What the hell was that? You took a screen print or a
I
screenshot of it?
I guess.
Oh, somebody said, don't go chasing waterfalls. And I was like, what's TLC got to do with anything? And then you mentioned that. I just connected.
I did last night, too. I talked about waterfalls and stuff. As a mental exercise, when you're hearing that noise in the background, the static noise, just pretend we're sitting by a waterfall. In a tropical place or something. Just a mental exercise.
It's like one of those disgusting pina coladas. And
yeah, well, I don't know. Are they disgusting?
Oh, they're disgusting.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
They've got coconut in them.
Look at that. You can record on here. Did you know that?
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. It's the 3 dots down here.
Wow.
That's wild. I didn't know that was possible.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't see all the phone connections. It's more Skype wonder. There we go. Here we go.
There you go. Yeah,
I didn't know that was there. I didn't know I could do that.
And call. Okay, cool.
Yeah, let's hang up on the phone line and then I'll reconnect it.
Okay.
Yeah, it didn't help at all, did it?
Nope, didn't go away. So it's probably TFR.
It's probably TFR then. Yeah.
Good night, Kathy Spencer.
Good night, Kathy. Thank you so much for being here.
Deb left too.
Deb did?
Yeah. Night, Deb, if you're still around.
Good night, Deb. Sweet dreams to both of you. Thank you so much. I don't know. I'm just getting the phone thing straightened out, ladies and gentlemen. Please bear with us. I was just going to see if that could help the waterfall sound.
That wasn't a bear. That was a Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Bear with us.
All right. Oh, bear with us. I gotcha. Okay. Well, we're all connected anyway, so we are good to go here, ladies and gentlemen. But I got some stories still that we're getting through, and these are children dealing with paranormal stuff, and they're pretty creepy.
Yes.
So the next one on our list of fun here on the Paranormal Portal is what did baby brother see?
Ah, here we go. Young ones.
when my little brother was a baby, maybe 9 months old, we lived with my grandma. My grandpa had just died. My mom was sitting in the living room around midnight trying to get my brother to sleep, but he wouldn't stop crying. Suddenly, out of nowhere, he stopped crying, sat straight up, and said, "Hi, Grandpa." But there was no one else in the room at all. The weird thing is, he said those words so clearly, and he had never spoken before.
He was 9 months old.
Not even to say mom.
Wow.
So he never spoke at all. But there you go. That's pretty cool.
9 months old and said, "Hi, Grandpa." 2 words.
Two words.
Straight out, straight up. Said, "Hi, Grandpa."
That reminds me of a story. This is a family story, and from my family, of course, not just somebody else's family. But it was some cousins of mine. This is not paranormal at all, but it's just kind of relates to this. And what it was my cousin's family had like 12 kids or something amazing. Just a huge family, a lot of kids. And so there was one child, though. She was one of their daughters, who was 5 years old, and the mom was just beside herself because this child had never spoken her entire life. And the mom of this child and my mom were talking, and the mom of the child was saying, I've got to get her checked out. Something's not right. She's still not talking. I can't enroll her in school, like this because she's not talking at all. There must be something wrong with her. And the little child was standing right there when all this was going on and said, "I can talk just fine, Mommy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10."
Wow.
So the child had been just absolutely silent all these
Giving
years.
the mother silent treatment.
Right. Well, I mean, it was like being surrounded by, 11 other kids.
Right.
Was probably pretty overwhelming. And so the child just didn't do anything and just kind of sat back and just watched. So but this is when the child's 5 years old. "I can talk fine, Mommy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Wow.
So it was
You said 11 kids?
yeah,
Or
well,
a
12
lot of
total.
kids? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then the one that was.
If I was the youngest, I'd stay quiet too.
Yeah, I mean,
I'd be
that's the smart move, I'm sure, but very wild. So this one's called Andy Pandy Comes to Play. Not sure who Andy Pandy is, but many of our UK readers between the ages of 45 and 55 will probably remember a television show called Watch the Mother. The show was on the BBC in the 1950s and featured a string puppet named Andy Pandy. And he had sidekick named Loopy Loo or Looby Loo. And one day my brother and sister were playing upstairs in our front bedroom, and this was about 12 feet by 12 feet, and they had a cupboard in the corner, which was directly over the stairs, and my sister and brother, both now in their late 40s, swear to this day that Andy Pandy came out of the cupboard in the corner and spent the next hour playing with them both.
Ooh.
This Andy Pandy, however, was about 4 feet high and had no strings attached, and I've questioned both of them over the years, and their story still remains the same. Wow. That's intense. The next has to do with shadow people, and of course we talk about them all the time here on the portal. But this is when I was about 7 years old one weekend, I planned to stay up late downstairs playing video games and then sleep on the pull-out bed. I was preparing to go to bed for some reason, and I got the impression that something was watching me. Well, I got scared enough to run back upstairs, and while I was running, I could see a very short, no larger than 2 feet tall, and squat figures darting after me.
Huh.
They were very indistinct in features and appeared as nothing more than inky black silhouettes. Also, when my aunt was young, she was sleeping over at a friend's house at the end of the street when she said that a shadow man appeared at the foot of the bed and began to call out her friend's name. She screamed and said that it disappeared into the floor. Yikes.
Wow.
Now, those little shadowy things, those sound more like imps. And imps would possibly precede the appearance of a demon. Possibly. Like, imps are generally considered to be minions of the demonic, that they are their servants or their underlings or whatever. So I don't know, but if it's a weird, obscure, squat, shadowy figure. Otherwise, maybe it's a house elf or something like that was just being, or a couple of them.
A domovu?
Domovoy?
Domovoy?
Domovoy is more of a spiritual thing, but house elves are supposed to, of course, from Robin's material,
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
yeah. So it could be just, some kind of glamour that the elves were using.
Yeah.
It's possible anyway. I don't know. That's very weird. I don't hear too much about little short, squatty humanoid apparitions. But if it was, it could either be an imp or something, maybe of the fae or something. I don't know. So this one's accident premonition. It says, my mother's family, parents and siblings lived in Binghamton, New York. My dad was in the Navy, and my parents, my sister, and I lived in Patuxent River, Maryland. And I was 6 years old at the time. Even though we lived in Maryland, I knew most of my mother's family because we would visit them quite often in Birmingham. Why am I saying Birmingham? Binghamton. I've never heard of that place before, and during the summer they all came to visit us. At the time, my cousin Mary Lou, who lived in Binghamton, was 11 years old. Well, I got home from school one day and asked my mom why Mary Lou was crying. She didn't understand what I was talking about, and I told her that I heard her crying. She was quite puzzled by my statement and had no explanation. Within a few hours, the phone rang, and it was my grandmother calling to say that my cousin had been hit by a car walking home from school. About the same time, I told my mom I could hear her crying. I've had a few other premonitions, but this one is the one I remember the most. Wow, how sad is that? Oh, that breaks my heart. A little child died.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, so this one's very odd. Chanting men in white.
Oh.
I was 13 and it was quite some time after my little brother had passed away. Oh, another one like that. Ugh. I had wanted to be with him because I thought that it would be better with him than at home. And one night I was sleeping in my bed and I had felt this warm sensation. I saw this hand come on my legs and it was so warm I had to wake up. And to my surprise, there were some men standing around my bed, which was up against the wall, and they were dressed in white, chanting in some language I never heard. One looked at me and then they all did and stopped chanting. Then, all in a single file, they walked out of the room. I crawled to the end of my bed and peeked out the door to the living room where we had a dim light on, but they were gone. I was a little scared and crawled under the covers and started to pray. And then my other brother asked me if I was awake, and I said yes. And he asked me to come to his room, and I said, no way, you come. But I did manage to get to his room just to find out that my brother had gone through the exact same thing as I did.
Wow.
We were both scared. That's terrifying. Wow, poor kids.
That wow.
What?
Because I just remembered a story from my childhood,
Okay.
and it was something like that.
Well, by all means.
No, no.
Okay.
It's not my story to share, but it was something similar to that. Now I don't remember what color the robes were, and it wasn't around the bed. It was down in the front room by the fireplace.
Wow.
Yeah, something very similar to that.
Did it happen to you, or?
No, not to me. No.
Okay.
It's a family story. Well,
okay.
It confided in me.
Okay.
So,
gotcha.
but yeah, weirdness. That was just kind of weird.
That is bizarre. I don't know what to make of that. And those things, we've heard many times of the figures in black cloaks,
Right.
surrounding a bed, and they look like wretched men, like just really wretched with really sharp fingers and
What
and
were they called?
doing the chanting and such. But I don't remember a name for them either. But I have to say, this is the first time I've heard of a group of men dressed in white doing that as
Yes.
well. So this is different than the normal fodder that I usually run into. So I like that, but it just raises more questions than answers, unfortunately. But very cool. I guess maybe these are some kind of representations of divine beings, and the others would be representations of maybe dark beings. I don't know. It's the white and black thing that always jumps into our head, right? If it's
Right,
white, it's
right.
good. If it's black, it must be
Yeah,
bad.
white
like
hats,
the
black hats.
right
Yeah.
from the old westerns.
Yeah.
It was like that's the white hats are the good guys, the black hats are the bad guys, and that could be absolutely wrong. It could be inverse. I don't know. We just don't know. They could all be bad. We don't know. But it's very peculiar that these beings are showing up and interacting with people on some level. I don't know. That's very strange.
Oh, that's right.
What's that?
Today's the 8th.
Uh-huh.
That means the 15% discount goes away tonight.
Oh, wow.
Thanks for reminding me, Pam, and I'm glad you bought a hoodie. That's awesome. We thank you.
Oh, thank you. That's really cool. That helps us a bunch, you guys. Any way you can help is amazing. But, at the very least, if, monetarily it's not possible for you, cool, I understand.
Just share the show.
We all live check to check and trying to figure out ends to meet and stuff. But, share the show. Let people know about it. Your presence here helps. Like the stream. Try to get more subscribers for us. Anything you can do is a great big thing for us.
We have 62 likes and 69 watching.
Oh, nice. That's solid.
Yeah, that's good.
That's a good ratio. Thank you to all of you who have taken the time to like the stream. Thank you very much, because that really does help. It helps to get the shows recommended. So it would be much appreciated. All of your love and efforts does not go unnoticed. The next one is Imaginary Friend, and boy, we've heard a bunch of these, Don.
Oh, yeah, we have.
Kids always have these imaginary friends, and there's some legitimately, imaginary friends. There's some legitimate ones, but some of these are obviously not just imaginary friends. They are these kids interacting with someone or something. And those are the ones that really make you caution, because some of the stories that some of these kids come out with, I stopped talking to, Red Bob, he calls, say the name is Red Bob.
Right.
Why'd you stop talking to him? Because he said I should hurt you and Daddy, or something like that. It's like, oh God, what are these kids dealing with, And these are other entities that are stepping in and trying to pervert children, and that is just so horrible. I just think there's got to be a special kind of hell for that kind of stuff, because that's just horrible. Trying to corrupt these innocents. That's about as dark as it gets, I think.
Yeah.
Let's see. What is this one? This is Shirley Saves Her Brother. Surely she did.
Surely.
My mom told me this story, and she still cries when she tells it. It has never been explained. My sister Shirley, the firstborn, died of Down syndrome at the age of 2 in 1961. She had holes in her heart. Almost 2 years later, my mother had a baby boy named Stephen. One day in 1962, my mom was up in the attic doing some work, and my dad was in the basement in his workshop, and Stephen, age 1, was supposedly napping in the playpen in the den, and my mom heard clear as day Shirley's voice saying, "Dada, Dada," and it was as though she were right there next to her in the attic. And clear as day, my dad heard the same thing down in the workshop, "Dada, Dada," and they both say it was distinctly Shirley's voice, loud and clear. Dad ran up to tell Mom, and Mom ran to tell Dad, and they both ran into the den, and there was baby Stephen with a plastic dry cleaner sheeting that he had reached for on the couch, and it was suffocating him. Mom and Dad both told us later on that it could not have been Stephen calling to them. He called my dad Daddy, not Dada, and it was not his voice. They are convinced to this day that it was Shirley warning them that her brother was suffocating.
Wow.
How amazing is that?
Wow.
That's just beautiful. That is absolutely stunning. How about that, Don?
Those are awesome stories.
They really are.
Those are the kind of stories, the like angel stories and things like that. It fits right in there with that.
It does. You're absolutely right. And we have those. I thought we did. I thought we had those. I don't know where they went now. My angel stories are gone, Don.
Oh, no.
They're gone. Why, yeah, you oughta. That's okay. I got another list here, but let me look at the time and see where we're at. Did you have anything you wanted to hit?
No, I've been it's been so on the run, I totally forgot to look stuff up.
Gotcha.
So,
okay.
I apologize.
No, that's fine. Just throw it. We got a call, though, so let's get to this call. They've been on hold for 6 minutes.
Wow.
Well, thanks for hanging on the hold, and this is area code 254. You're on the air.
Hey, Brad, it's Kathy.
Hi, Kathy. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I thought I'd tell you a little something about, we're talking about children and
Yes.
the paranormal, and
Uh-huh.
I've been here 6 minutes, but that last story that you told really fits in well with the plastic dry cleaning, whatever.
Okay.
I was I was grown and had children before I found out about what had happened. We were all, my family, we were gathered together some occasion, and we were talking about the different places and the different houses that we had lived in when we were growing up, and I asked Mother, I said, well, where exactly was that house that we lived in that had that you painted the green floor? And she said, the green floor? And I said, yeah. I said, I was up there on the top of the cabinet, and I looked down, and you were painting the floor, and you even painted yourself into the corner. And she just turned real white, and I said, you did paint that floor green? And she said, yes, but you weren't born yet.
Oh.
And she said, that was not a real good day. She said, I was pregnant with you.
Oh, my God.
When I was painting that floor. And she said, I don't know how you could have known that, because I never told anyone I painted myself into the corner. She was there.
Oh, my God.
She was kind of embarrassed about it. And so anyway, she said that, I had two older brothers and an older sister. I was the youngest. And she said later that, after she'd finished painting the floor, she put everybody down for a nap, and she was tired, and pregnant with me, and she was tired too. So they all laid down, and she said that I started kicking. I mean, I was in the womb, and I started kicking really, really hard.
Uh-huh.
And she said that she had trouble waking up, and it was kind of like during the winter, and so she tried to wake my brothers and sister up, and when she woke up, she realized that all the paint fumes had come into the bedroom.
Oh, geez.
And this is back when they had, lead paint and everything.
Right.
And she said, I had to take the kids outside, and I had to open the windows in the house and let everything out. And she said, it's a wonder that we ever woke up. She said, actually, she said, when you were kicking me, you woke me up. And she said, you saved our life.
Wow.
Wow. That's amazing.
And it's so, I know you probably get tired of me calling in, but
No, never. Never at all.
I can tell you that, I can look down. I was up. It was like I was way up near the ceiling when I looked down and I saw my mom, and she was, painting away and everything. And because the floor was white and she painted it dark green, it was just kind of not a real cool house. It was worn out. But
Sure.
And but I was way up there near the ceiling.
Oh, my God.
Looking down. That was my point of view.
Jeez. That's amazing. That's incredible. I mean, of course, you would not be put up that high if you were alive. I mean, no parent would do that.
Oh, that'd be too hard.
And especially in a room she was painting. That's incredible. I mean, that's incredible is all I can say. I mean, I'm stunned. That's an amazing tale, and a couple of them.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was in the late 50s. I'm not a young chick anymore, but I mean, that was in the late 50s, and they had, people didn't realize that such caustic fumes and lead paint, and
Sure.
And Mother had a little heater going, and it could have been really disastrous. And
Oh my
So,
God.
but I didn't realize this until I was about, I don't know, I guess it was about 30 years old when I, when we put two and two together.
Right.
Oh my God.
When I told her. And she said, we moved from that house. She said, I was kind of trying to make it the best I could. She said, but we moved from that house not within that next year. So I wasn't even a year old, in that house.
Oh my God.
So.
That's amazing. And then waking her up. I mean, the two really incredible. The part that I think really floors me the most is that, to have a young childhood memory is one thing, and that's very rare.
Time.
Oh, time. But hold on the line,
Hold
would
that
you
line.
please?
Yeah, hold
We're
on.
going to come back to you after the break, okay? I want to talk to you some more.
Okay.
Excellent.
All right, we're going to go to break, ladies and gentlemen. Last half hour on the other side. Don't go away. We're going to get more into this. He's a maniac, maniac. Don's doing his cobra dance over there. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Paranormal Portal. Last half hour is upon us.
And this is for Nessie.
You're stroking your beard. Okay.
Sorry. We have a caller on the phone.
We got a couple of them, actually, but let's get back to Kathy here. And Kathy, are you there? Miss Kathy, are you there? Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you just got through explaining a couple of amazing stories. One of which you were very conscious of, floating above your mom, watching her paint herself into a corner, and the second one, it doesn't sound like you remembered that, but your mom felt that you were warning them, and I think. In both cases, I think that the most amazing thing, and what I was trying to get into before the break, was that having an early childhood memory is rare. I mean, remembering much of anything before 4 years old is really rare. But to remember things before you even were born is, I mean, it's got to be 1 in a trillion. I mean, literally. I just have never heard of that. You know?
Well, I never really even thought of it that way. I mean,
Sure.
That's just the way it was. And,
Sure. Yeah. I know, but have you ever even heard of that from anyone else? I know I haven't.
I don't think so.
If I have, I've long
didn't.
forgotten it. But I mean, in talking to you, that is exceptionally profound, and I think it's really cool too, because it just shows that that life is universal. I mean, it doesn't just suddenly turn on at some point. And I'm not getting off on sidetracks here, but it's just the fact that your spirit was present, and you were consciously aware of what was going on throughout that time. And it makes me think, what have my kids seen, if they were able to recall that stuff? I mean, I don't know. It's just really amazing. I guess I had never considered that possibility.
Well, they tell you to, pregnant women, they tell them, sing to your baby in the womb.
Yes. Yeah.
Talk to them, they rub their tummies, and little brothers and sisters listen to their heartbeat. And I mean, I know that, but I mean that they only found that out in the last 20, 30 years. I mean, this is a long time ago when this happened.
Wow. And I suppose it depends on the person, when they actually start to take residence, but it doesn't. I don't know if. Just in listening to the way you explained it, it's like, I wonder, was your, and I don't know how else to say this without sounding really goofy, but do you think that your soul was actually in your body at that point, or do you think it was just kind of hovering around near it?
It was like I was standing up on the top of the cabinet. I mean, it was like, I can visualize it right now. It's just as plain as day. And it was like I was watching my mother, and I knew who she was,
Yeah, exactly. That to me is just amazing. I'm just floored by your story. I think that is just incredible, and I'm really honored that you chose to share it here. That's just amazing.
Well, since I got you on the line, I know there may be somebody else waiting, but when I was 6, I got pneumonia. I got double pneumonia. I got very ill.
Wow.
And they had to take me to the hospital. They had to put a needle in my lung without anesthesia. The nurses had to hold me down. This was back in the early 60s. They were afraid to put me under because I was so weak.
Right.
So, and I remember them doing all that to me.
Mm-hmm.
But then the next thing I remember was being in like a room of soft, it was, the best way to describe it was like soft pink cotton candy. And I felt like I was floating. And I kind of like moved very slowly, and I could look down. I know that I could see down, and I started becoming lower and lowered, like I was descending slowly. And I could see, it was like the top of the hospital room was gone. And I could see into the room, and I saw my mother.
Mm-hmm.
And she was standing at the window, and she was looking out, and she was crying.
Sure.
And it was raining. It was raining. I could see her standing there, and there was rain against the window. She had her hand over her mouth, and she was crying.
Oh.
And I thought, oh, Mother's upset, you know. And then my eyes kind of went over to the left, and I looked down, and I thought, who is that? Who is that? There was someone laying in a bed and had blankets on him. And as soon as I thought that, pow, I was in that bed, and it was me that I saw.
Oh.
I mean, I was there. I was back.
Yeah.
And I remember waking up and seeing all these knobs and machines and everything, and then I turned and I turned toward the window where my mother was standing.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, Mother, why are you crying? And she turned around, and she just threw her hands up in the air and ran over and fell down by the side of my bed and took my hands. And she said, oh, my God, thank God. And she just kept thanking God. And so the doctors had done everything that they could for me.
Mm-hmm.
And they had told her and my dad that it was in God's hands now. And there was nothing more they could do. And I had been just almost comatose for about 3 days. I wasn't responding. And so I came back.
Oh, that's beautiful. I mean, it's, of course, a lot of trauma for your mom and for everybody else, but I mean, the experience is beautiful.
Right. Hey, Kathy, how old was that? Were you
6.
again? 6? Okay.
Yeah, she was 6 at that time.
I was 6.
Yeah.
It was right around my birthday.
Wow.
And I was about to turn 7. And so I'm lucky to be here.
Yeah, and we're all lucky. I mean, I've really enjoyed knowing you and hearing from you and hearing what you have to share. So that's incredibly powerful stuff for sure. You know, and thank you so much.
Yes, we live in a very mysterious world, and you know, there are stranger things on earth than there are in heaven.
Yeah.
And yes, it's true.
I believe it, and I imagine you probably have a lot that you've never spoken of, and you know, whenever you're ready, I'll be here waiting to hear from you if you ever choose to. And I just want to thank you so much, though, because it's a very brave thing to come forward and to share these things, but I hope that it's a healing thing as well. And you know, stories like this, I think, give us all some reassurance and some comfort, because I think we're all looking for that proof, that positive, you know, affirmation that there's so much more.
We all have a spirit.
Yeah.
You know, we are all souls.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And it's just every life is a miraculous story.
Yeah.
And Nicky, last night when Nick called, I was so glad for him that someone or some spirit came and helped him reconnect with his father. That was a wonderful story.
It really is. There's a lot of amazing things going on, and I think it just helps to paint the full picture of things that we just aren't taught. We don't learn these things like the rest of our life. We learn But these things come to us and they teach us when we're ready, and you come to us and you share your story when you're ready, and it's both of us being ready, I think. I mean, I'm growing from your experiences as well. I mean, these are beautiful and profound, and I'm absolutely honored that you're sharing them here on the show, and I want you to know that I realize what a gift that all of our callers are giving us. And I just want to thank you for doing it, and thank all of you who have called and will call. These stories are amazing. They are just amazing. And thank you so much for your time and for your trust in us to share these things with us.
Well, thank you, Brent and Don, and for a venue to do something like this and give people the opportunity. I would tell people, in the chat and everything that, nobody's going to laugh at you.
Right.
It really helped me to call in.
Oh,
And I'm going to send you a follow-up email on that too, Brent. And but if a caller, if you feel like there's something that you want to talk about, that even if you feel like you're strong enough, if you are called to do it, then I would just encourage you to just call in, talk about it. I'm sure Brent and Don have heard some pretty strange things.
True.
Yeah, I think we have, but I wouldn't change a thing though. This is an incredible journey for us as well.
Yeah.
It really is.
And don't forget, if you do call in regarding that, if you do call in, you can tell us, I'd rather not say my name, or give us a totally fake name. That's absolutely fine. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, exactly. We don't need to.
I think that's what makes this. I mean, besides you and Brent, Don and Brent, that's what I think makes this show, is for people to just be, open their heart up and just open up and just get it out. Just come on, tell us.
Yeah,
I appreciate
Tell your story.
Excellent. Yep.
Thank you, Kathy, and thank you so much for your trust in us.
All righty.
All right, my lady, have a good night, and I'll be looking forward to that email.
Okay. All right. Bye-bye.
Okay, good night.
Good night, Kathy.
We have another caller here, and this is area code 973. You're on the air.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Santino. My friends call me Tino.
Hi.
I'm starting to like your show. I listened to it twice, and it took me a while. I had subscribed to it a while ago, and then the last couple of nights, and I got hooked. So, and I'm too tired to when I get out of work to call or do anything. But a quick story, true story, that happened to me this Thanksgiving that just passed. I live in New Jersey, on the second floor of my aunt's house. One of them, there's two windows in the room. One of them has an air conditioner.
Hey, Tino?
All winter long, and the other one.
Your phone is really breaking up. Is it possible there's a better location for you to move to?
Can you hear me now? Is this better?
I think so.
So far, yeah.
So far, yeah. It sounds better.
Okay. So the second, there's two windows in my room. One of them has a roof that's like 50 by 50 feet. That's flat. You could actually walk on it if you get out there. And Thanksgiving night this year in New Jersey, it was very windy. Trees, the leaves blowing over that were on the ground. Anyway, I hear a lot of rustling outside my window with the roof. They could, But I'm going to the window, and there has been a raccoon that has come by, and I fed. Actually a couple times took up, something from my hand a couple times. So I got to be the raccoon. I go looking out the window, this thing, and it's like nothing's there. There's no raccoon, and there's no birds. It's late at night. So I'm like, what is going on? And I hear things flying around all over the place. I go, all right, this is crazy. Now it's like name. I swear to you. And I look out, and there's nothing there. I would go lie down on my bed, and every time I lie down, it was like whatever it was playing or toying with me. And I'd get up, and I'd look out, and it wasn't there. And you could hear something come towards the window, and as soon as I went to go look, this happened about 2 times. I'm like, okay. finally, and I looked up the third time, and right at the edge, about 50 feet away, right before the roof goes, towards, and it just drops to the ground, I see, and it's just going to sound crazy, but I see a little horse with wings.
Oh, wow.
I go, you got to be kidding. The Jersey Devil is on my roof on Thanksgiving night in New Jersey. So I said, no one's going to believe me. And I took my phone out quickly. I took a couple of pictures, and they're all black. I can't see nothing. I'm like, okay. So very quickly, I downloaded an app at night vision. It worked. I have it on video. This thing flying. You can see it because the moon was out. You can see this thing flying around, and I got a couple really, really good pictures of this thing. Wow. And you know what it was? Figured out why. Why is it from my roof? Out of why do I have to see the Jersey Devil? It's because I put food out on the roof every day for the birds. Whatever I had put out today, it must have liked. Because, it was done when I woke up in the morning. So that's a true story. And wow. I told my ex-girlfriend, because she didn't believe me, and I can prove it. I have the pictures to prove it. I mean, they're night vision, but you can see clearly. And it's not that big. It's not like a human thing. It's about, I don't know, the size of a little, maybe 3 feet, the most, 1, 2, maybe 2.5 feet the most, but a big thing. It's a little horse with wings. It's crazy, but I figured I'd call you guys and that happened. That's the truth. I got pictures and a minute video with this thing flying in the air.
Wow.
So, do you have
I hope you enjoyed this story.
Absolutely.
It really happened.
Well, sure. I mean, people have seen all kinds of strange stuff, and there's a reason we have the legend of the Jersey Devil is because people are seeing it. So, yeah, I don't doubt you, brother. That's amazing. Do you have a channel where you're showcasing this?
I do have a channel. I'm a songwriter. I've been doing it. I'm 50 years old. I've been writing songs since I was like 8. And I had to write this whole story about what I just told you down. But it's taken up pieces of loose leaf paper. I got to fit it into a 3-minute song. So I'm trying to. I'm sorry. I forgot the question. I got so much on my mind right now. I can't. I'm actually telling you this because it does sound crazy, but I'm not trying to get attention, and I'm not trying to. I wasn't high or anything like that.
Sure.
It's weird. Like I know about Bigfoot and Dogman and all ghosts and stuff like that. I never seen any of that, and I get to see this thing, and it was almost like it was playing with me. It wasn't scary. It wasn't going to scare me. I mean, it looked at me, not head on it, like it looked at me like space, because I guess I don't know. Horses can't see. I don't know, but it was like trying to get me. It was like shaking its head, like come on, like how you shake your hand, tell somebody to come. It wanted me to come and play or something like that. It sounds weird, but it looked like it was playing, like having a good time out there in the weather and with food that I had left outside. I think it was some turkey and stuff or whatever, leftover turkey I dropped. I know. It sounds crazy, but hey, I want to congratulate you guys. I bless your success. I love your show now.
Oh,
keep up the good work, and I'll be tuning in.
All right, brother.
Great news, guys.
Thank you so much, and I appreciate you. Yeah. I appreciate that a bunch. Thanks so much for your time.
Wow.
That was really cool.
That is cool.
That's amazing. I mean, we certainly get a lot of different claims, and I have no business telling somebody they didn't see what they saw.
That's right.
I if people call into the show and they said this is what they saw,
that's what they saw.
Who the hell are we to say no?
Exactly.
No, you didn't. We would never do that.
Right.
So if that's what you saw, brother, I'm absolutely amazed. And again, people have been talking about the Jersey Devil for generations.
Right.
And there's a reason that it's still around, that legend still comes up, and it's because people are still seeing it. Yep. And so there's no reason it couldn't be you. I have no problem getting my head around that at all. So
yeah, it's just we just hear so little about the Jersey Devil, though.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people would fall into the, oh hell no, oh no, I didn't just see that. Nope, I'm gonna ignore that. Nah, I didn't see nothing, because how hard is that to bring up and talk about? So I really admire your courage in calling in and letting us know about that. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
and
that was awesome.
I didn't catch the name of his channel though.
I didn't either,
but if you want, if you'd like, please let us know, and we'll tell people where to look for, your video, because I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, Tino, type in the name of your channel, and I'll go get the link for it.
Yeah, we'll post it, because we're not one of those competitive shows. It's like, oh no, pay only attention to us, only us. We love help and support all of our friends and other people that have channels and shows. It's part of, if we all support each other, then we got a hell of a community.
That's right.
So we have no problem with promoting other people's work and other people's channels, other shows. I don't care. I mean, I'm just thrilled people are coming to pay attention to what we're doing. And if they come on and tell our stories, I'm happy to promote you.
Right.
Fantastic. So very cool. Excellent. It's been a great night of call-ins.
Yeah.
We've only got a couple minutes left, but there's one more call. I think this is D.
I think so.
Hi, D. Is this you? I better say, area code 330. You're on the air.
Hi.
Hi, D.
Yes, it is.
I thought it was you, but I want to make sure.
How you doing, guys?
We're doing good. We only got a couple minutes left, my lady, but what's on your mind tonight?
Right. I was just going to say, well, just very briefly, try to make it very brief. There are a lot of reports. I mean, I have heard them. I mean, when I was reading about life after life and exploring between lives and stuff, really, it's very common for children. We're told that children pick out their parents.
Well, sure.
And
I've
come
heard
to
that.
their parents before they are born. So really, that would really fall right in line with that Kathy story.
You're right.
And
good point.
Also, the other thing, and the other thing is, I was one of those weird kids too that all of a sudden, I didn't talk baby talk or anything or say anything, but all of a sudden, at 6 months old, I started talking. And what I said was, I looked at the TV and was watching it because, parents plunked children down in front of the TV.
Sure.
And so I'm looking at some kind of program on the TV as the story goes, and I do kind of remember this. And I say to my mom, I was a fighter like that.
Oh.
And she looked at me, and I kind of remember this. And because I remember her looking at me like, what? And I said, I was a fighter like that. I remember that. And she's like, fighter? How could you be a fighter? That's ridiculous. How parents do. And then she's like, also like, so she said, you just, she was just like, oh, you can talk, and so she puts,
that's funny.
She puts me on the phone to my aunt. She calls my aunt in Florida. And she says, I got somebody who wants to talk to you. And I remember this conversation.
Sure.
Too. I remember that part of it. Yeah, and it's like, oh, hi. And I was really polite because I had watched how people behave on the phone.
Sure.
Hello,
Aww.
And, et cetera. I told her my name was Diane and everything. She said, okay, who was that really? And my mother said, no, that's your niece.
Aww.
And she said, no, but it can't be my niece because she's only 6 months. Wow. And my mom says, yes, but it is your niece.
Very cool.
And
That's
so
great.
they didn't know.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, they didn't know whether it was weirder that I remembered, I was saying I was a fighter, or that it was weirder that I just all of a sudden decided to up and talk.
Oh. Well, thank you for calling and sharing that. That's awesome. But we do have to go now. We're all out of time, my lady.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you, Dave.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Love ya.
That's cool. Yeah, of course, past lives is a different thing as well, and that's even an older memory, I guess. But it's that in between phase that most people don't notice, and that's what's so unique about Kathy's story too, is that it was in between lives.
Right.
But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for being on this journey with us here on the Paranormal Portal. It's been an absolute pleasure. As always, stick around for Paisley Wild coming up next with the Spaces Between on TFR, iHeart, TuneIn, and TalkStream, and she broadcasts live streaming on her YouTube channel as well, youtube.com/thespacesbetween. And then after that, head over to tfrlive.com/chat, and you can hang out with the Duke. Who will be in the chat room there, and you can listen to the brand new episode of World Bigfoot Radio. And he listed, what was his show called?
He says it's not posted, but I'm going there right now.
No, he said something in the chat. I just saw it, but it scrolled way out of the way. But it's a brand new episode. Oh, it's the White Oak Mountain Monster.
Oh, you're talking about
that.
And
White Oak Mountain Monster is tonight's show. It's the return of the White Oak Mountain Monster. And that'll be on tfrlive.com/chat. You can hang out with the Duke and get the inside scoop right from him as the show is played. So, love you all. That's it for us. Be good, be kind, be nice. Take care of each other. Help each other out. Find the magic in every day, and remember to laugh as much as you can.
Good night.
All right. Good night, everybody.